kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this was a conspiracy?
Gotta go with Jacob Butter. Gotta go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion into the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. Oh, here we are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are streaming live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia.
Hey, it's good to be here, everybody. Did anybody get the invite? I mean, we do have 2 new people in the room tonight, live viewers, actually spectators for the first time. Kyle, do you want to introduce the new people who are going to watch us almost every week?
Yeah, sure. So in the studio, we have a live studio audience.
I don't know how their ears work.
You got, let's see here. This is Parker the Penguin. Parker.
Yes.
And this is
Asku the Owl.
Asku the Owl. Nice.
2 live people in the studio. They'll be here, hopefully, unless I lose them. They will be sitting
This is
right
highly
here.
likely.
I'll probably lose them this week.
Oh, man. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from our channel, and please share with your friends. And you can listen on your favorite podcast outlet. And please give us a 5-star review while you're doing that.
Please.
Please. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you want to check out our merch shop on Etsy, you can do that. We got some sweet shirts and hats in there. And if you want to sponsor the show, because we are always looking for a sponsor, you can email us at downlanepod@gmail.com.
That's downlanepod@gmail.com.
Don't forget to comment to us during the show. We will take your comments, take your questions, and all that good stuff.
Your opinions, too.
And opinions, most importantly.
Especially today.
And on today's episode,
Let's get weird.
First and foremost, of course, we got our poll question coming up. We're going to talk a little bit about string pins again, because Brunswick came out with a little bit of an article this week. Something happened on the PBA Tour this week that kind of got a little bit of noise. I don't know,
I don't know if you watched.
Anybody heard about it or whatever. So we'll talk about Sean Rash. Some more PBA news. We got rule changes, more of the Players Championship, and a bunch of other stuff. And of course, we're going to get to Bowler of the Week at the end of the show. So let's get right into it. But first, how was your week this week?
That's what I was waiting for. I was going to say, well, how am I doing? Well, what's today? Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Thursday the 27th. I've been working, running the tournament.
Oh, that's where we got the Baker's
doubles.
doubles going on, handicap Baker's doubles in the house.
Baker's doubles here. I had 30 teams this week. Got a few more signed up for this week. So hopefully we break about 120, 150 teams. Last year we had 215.
Nice.
But there was nothing going on last year. Now a lot of the tournaments are starting to reel back in.
Right.
Kind of, of course it hinders on the entries. But yeah, we're hoping to get about 120 to 150. That's my hope. And then we'll see how it goes from there. We're just praying. Praying on rain, like the farmers.
Rain! Let it rain!
Am I missing the joke?
No, I don't know. So that's good. Things are going good here.
Yeah, they're going great. They're going great. How's your week, Kyle? Come on, get excited. Obviously, we have this awesome purple ball in front of us right here. What is so funny about that?
I don't know. I guess we'll get into it. Well, first of all,
But-
my week was really good, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, check this out. So a couple weeks ago,
Check it out.
Chickadee China. A couple weeks ago, we talked about grip and options for your grip.
Mm-hmm.
One of the options that we briefly discussed but didn't know a lot about,
For interchangeable thumbs.
was
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Joepo Grips. So Joepo reached out to us and kindly
They
said
reached out to me.
right,
And then you answered.
Yep.
Right.
But you instructed me to answer.
I did instruct you to answer, yeah.
I don't know how to talk to people.
Yes.
So they kindly sent some what's the word I'm looking for? Samples. Thank you. Of their grips here, or their interchangeable thumb system, which is pretty cool, I have to say.
Show the camera.
Oh yeah, it's down here below my computer. So just like the rest of them, they have or actually like the turbos. They have the outer sleeve that goes down into the ball.
You're going to that one.
Yeah. Hello, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, camera 1, camera 2. And then they have the inner slug here that does both twisting as well as locking, which is kind of neat. So it's kind of like, as they say, the best of both worlds, and it spins down in. The biggest thing that I think is the coolest aspect is the removing tool or insert and remover tool. This tool is so much better than all of the other ones because it actually goes all the way down to the bottom of the slug, and that's how it doesn't use a rubber stopper and screw up all of your tape that's in the ball, because every time I go to use the rubber stopper, it doesn't work. Or if I use my thumb to twist it out, it's all tight. These ones are nice and pretty loose. They do have a strong
they have a strong
snap.
There. They really do.
Yeah. But this tool goes all the way. So if you want to just use the tool all the time, it goes all the way down to the bottom of the slug, locks it in, and then you twist it out. That's really, really cool. The only negative I have about it on this sample that they sent us is the slug that's inside the thumb.
Kyle's piggy.
Aren't all bowlers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the slug that they have is one of the really hard urethane slugs. And I prefer I think we actually talked about this during that episode. I prefer the softer, kind of more, not as smooth. It's a little more rough inside the slug. So that would be my only downside. So we're going to get into it or get these into one of my old balls to test it out and see how it works. Hopefully for next week. And then I can have a real review on it, or opinion. And then really, I mean, I guess once this gets sanded out or what have you, it'll probably be a little bit better. So all in all, though, it's like the
mechanism.
Everything is really good. I just don't like that really hard slug.
Yeah, when he reached out to us, he also said that his sleeves or the installation helps it so the ball doesn't compress, the weight block compress against the
that's a good point.
twisting of the thumb. So that way you shouldn't have any issues when moving it. You know, like we talked about, one ball's tighter than another ball because of the compression of the weight block, so on and so forth. And then also he said that they were designed so that way you can take out whatever interchangeable you're currently using. You don't have to plug anything up. You just can go cut it and it should work because it should be able to form to the turbos, or what's the other one, the ultimates, or the ETs. You know, you should be able just to drill it out. You don't have to plug anything. That way you don't have to do any extra work, which was cool. So thank you to him for sending these out. I am playing with them myself. My father is also looking at them.
Really?
Yeah.
The only other thing that you did mention was the hole down the center.
Yeah, the hole down the center.
I don't know if they come solid at all.
Yeah.
But the hole down the center,
I like to just center
a little bit of a hiccup.
Yeah,
with lining up your.
It's probably not that bad because you should be able to get it in the center. It's just I always like to have that extra piece there just to make sure that I'm really nutting it right in the middle.
Right.
Boom. Done.
Yeah.
Roasted.
Send it. All right. Let's get into our poll question.
What was it? I missed it.
You did?
Yeah, I actually tried to get onto it today, and
it wasn't today. I just used the one from earlier this week. I lazed out. Is that cool?
Did I vote?
You did.
Good for me. I don't even remember.
Oop, that's the wrong one.
Nope. You should have this stuff ready.
I know. I'm a bum. What can I say? Loading.
Good.
All right. So the poll question. Oh wow, we've done a lot of poll questions. Was.
Oh, I do remember voting.
The sentence has been determined. And of course, we're talking about Sean Rash. Was the punishment for Sean enough? What did you say?
I'm pretty sure like 75% it's not enough. Am I right? 75%?
Incorrect.
Okay, then
I asked you what you said. What did you vote for?
If you went on my Twitter, because I'm back on the tweet machine, everybody, no idea what my handle is. I think it's Scaccia94.
I think that's right.
Make sure to follow me for awesome stuff. But pretty sure I voted it wasn't harsh enough. I do think he should be a little bit more harshly fined for what he said. We'll get into it later.
Yeah, and basically 57% of the people said yes. Again, it was kind of split down the middle here, and 43 said no.
So more people thought it was rightfully served. His sentence is enough.
Right.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
All right. So before we get to the Rash outburst, let's talk a little bit about the Brunswick string pins.
Whoa! We had a lot of people do
Awesome. When are you getting the sound effects ready for us? Bow, 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 bow.
I did have somebody who was doing that last night as a DJ here at 8:30 for his little party. Stuck in my head.
We need the stream deck first.
We can make it work on your desktop. So basically, let's see. Brunswick came out with their article. I think it was this week, if my notifications were correct. And basically, they're saying that Brunswick string pins are now approved by the IBF, which is the International Bowling Federation, for worldwide competition, of course, except for the United States.
Can you say it again?
Brunswick string pins
Yep.
have been approved
everywhere
except
the United States.
Right. So here's the thing, though, is that their article or whatever your press release, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really go into a lot of detail about really the difference between string pins and free fall pins. And the USBC had a very good report, of much of which I couldn't even understand because it was very scientific. But they had a very good report about the data that they found between string pins and free falls. And Brunswick just says they didn't provide any details that the IBF did. They just said it's pretty close. So I was like, well, the USBC did a pretty comprehensive report. I don't know. I haven't seen the IBF one. Maybe it's out there in the world, but they didn't give any details in their press release.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just trying to throw it like, hey, it works,
right?
Or it's legal in X amount of places. So I don't think they're really trying to put out something that's scientific because it's not their job. They're going to let the other people, the scientific people, let them make the decision on that. But they just want to say, hey, don't forget about us.
Right. Well, for me, I mean, we talked a lot about this before, but just to touch on it again, I haven't bowled on them personally, but people that have reported to us and said that it's not the same. That splits are a lot easier to convert,
of course,
which is a big deal in sport competition,
of course.
And these are allowed in sport competition.
But everybody's throwing on string machines.
I understand that, but it just changes. So my thing is, like, the whole point is that shut up. The whole point is that they're saying it's easier for proprietors. It saves the proprietors money.
Right.
I understand all that.
Right.
But should we be changing the game to make it easier? Should we be changing the actual sport in order to make it easier and cheaper for proprietors? Yeah. Why?
Resin.
I agree with you.
And yes, that's exactly what they did. So
Right.
They are going to change it.
But
because bowling as a whole, as an industry, you can't find mechanics. So they're going to, in order for the USBC to collect their paychecks every week or month or year, whatever they get paid in.
Why is bowling the only one that can't find a mechanic?
Because there's not that many around anymore. The guys who are older and worked on them, my father, my uncles, I mean, the guys who used to work on them are older and don't want to do it. If you're going to get somebody, you're going to have to get somebody who went to school for it. And they're probably not going to be your mainstay mechanic. They're just going to come around every so often. That's what I'm assuming. And paying them, you got to pay them. Man, I don't even remember the numbers on it. I forget what the number is. It's like, let's just say it's $2,000 a machine a year. You're going to pay a guy $50,000 to just sit back there and do the machines in your lane machine? Is that what you really want to do? Is that what you want to spend $48,000 on per year?
You gonna spend it anywhere else?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously.
I get
Making a better atmosphere, creating a better center, maybe.
But
giving
should
back?
the sport itself be changed to make it better
It already
or
has
easier for the proprietors?
It already has been.
In what way? The bowlers have been decreasing every year.
That's not the question.
But that's
you just asked me
resin.
You just asked me, should the sport change in order for it to be easier for proprietors? It already has. Look at the scores. People wanted scores. They made resin. Now the scores are there. They made lane machines to accommodate the scores. The sport of bowling is not your league play. So let's separate the two. If you want to have
be.
it, well, that's what it should be. And if you want to be if you want to have it be sport, then it's got to be on a harder shot. Then sure, maybe have free fall. But if most of your people are what most of our people are, which is want to come out, have a good time, have some high scores, who gives a crap what you're bowling on?
Agreed. But like we discussed before, there shouldn't be a difference between sport and recreation. It should all just be bowling.
I agree with you.
So,
but it's not going to happen. That's why I'm making the argument. It's not going to happen.
If your center wants to be capable of having sport competition, then they're going to need to have free fall machines based on what you just said.
Basically, yes.
So
that's what should happen.
Or if you plan on just being a recreation center, and this is where the USBC is going currently, because they're going to certify string machines just for recreation. And then
what does that have to do with anything? They don't need to certify anything.
I'm sorry, not just for recreation. I shouldn't say that anyway, or say that, but they said that they were going to have a string machine certification and a free fall certification.
Averages will be the same.
Maybe. Well, I guess on a house shot, yes. But I'm saying
on a sports shot, yes.
No. Dude, how many splits do people leave?
Did you not look at the PBA tournament that they had on string machines?
It was on
string machines.
The scoring European tournament, not a PBA tournament or PBA or something.
No, I'm pretty sure it was PBA event. Whatever it was, I'm pretty sure it was in Lubbock or something like that. If my memory serves me correct, which it might not because I don't really, remember a lot of things. And Austin's gonna look it up. Thank you, Austin. But the scoring pace off of a regular event was like 3 pins. The scores are already inflated. Who cares about 3 pins at this point? If you're 240 and you're 243 now, whoa. Sorry, you got the extra 3 pins.
You shouldn't be 240.
I agree with you. I'm just saying.
So these are two different arguments. My point, I'm just talking about the machines in general.
Yeah, well.
And if you're going to be on a sport shot, which is not 240, they're going to be leaving a lot of splits. And the splits.
I didn't mean sport shot. I meant
the strings take out the. I understand, but I'm talking about the game, the sport. And if you're on a sport shot, it's going to be different.
But everybody's on the same difference. So what's the difference?
I understand throughout the competition.
If the scoring pace was 3 pins,
why have splits at all then? Sweep them off the rack if they're just going to
why have
every time. What?
I'm just throwing it in there because of what happened.
All right, let's talk about urethane then.
No, we can't go to urethane yet.
Well, not urethane. Let's talk about the thing we're here to talk about.
What are we here to talk about? You hate repeating yourself, so I'm
the
here.
outburst.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
All right.
Zach Phillips, stop changing the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, everybody saw it by now. We're a little late to the party because we go live on Thursdays.
No, but it's good because we get to see what everybody's seeing. If we can get some inside information.
Inside information is good. Did you get any?
Yeah. Turns out Sean Rash didn't want to come on the show.
So we did actually reach out to Sean Rash. Dick Allen challenged all of the podcasts. He said, who's going to have Sean Rash on first? And I said, me, we'll do it. That was after that we destroyed Sean on Twitter. Me.
Kyle did.
Yeah, I destroyed Sean on Twitter because I'm sick of the crying about urethane. I'm sick of crying in general.
Why don't you just save it for the conversation?
This is the conversation right now. This is the conversation. So anyway, we did reach out to Sean, and Sean said, no. I'll put it that way. He said no. I tried to be nice to him about it and say, hey, prove us wrong. And he didn't want to come on. So that's that. So we're just going to have our own opinion. We're going to speculate.
I think speculation is most important. And then I'll give you my opinion after we speculate.
So basically, why don't we play the video and then we'll kind of talk about it here. This is Sean's choppy. Sorry, guys. But this is Sean's shot going into. Sorry.
Just let it play. My gosh.
I think Sean had a feeling this one was over.
3 for 3.
Frame and a half.
Integrity
ago.
one day. Yeah, I said it. I don't give a shit.
Sorry, I want to try to censor that real quick.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Anyway, so he says he's losing at the time. He's losing to Matt Russo going into the 10th frame, and he needed he couldn't win anyway. He couldn't automatically win with his scores. So he gets real mad. He says 3 for 3, integrity one day, and then he said, "I said it. I don't give an S." And he thinks he's out of the match, and then Matt Russo does this.
By the way, I do like his jersey. Michelangelo, Ninja Turtles.
He throws it through the beak. Throws the same exact thing that he did on the left lane.
which he converted the shot before. So now he
Right.
needs to make it
in order to win.
in order to win this match, which he just made it a few seconds prior. He looks like he's a little angry.
You think?
Yeah. And then I don't really know if Sean Rash knows what's going on. Do you think he's paying attention? Do you think he's just like blurring everything out at this
right
point?
now, what he's thinking in his head was, I just said all that stuff,
And now I'm gonna
and
win.
now I'm about to win. I look like a super big jerk.
Do we gonna skip through this, or are we just gonna watch the whole thing?
Well, we can talk about it while it plays because it goes into his reaction and everything. So basically, tell me what you think. What
Well, first of all, I'd like to start off. I don't
Go
want
ahead.
to
Start off. I don't know what you mean by that.
I
But
don't
start
wanna-
off. Go ahead.
He just picked off one, by the way.
Picked off one to lose the match.
Well, he had to make it to win, so I understand why he went for it. Anyways, so first off, I'd like to start without making my opinion, but I'd like to speculate a little bit. First of all, he starts off with 3 for 3,
That's it, Sean. You won.
right?
Right.
Yep.
What does 3 for 3 mean? Now,
And there
thought
is
about it, talked to a few people about it, what they thought. First, we're going to start off with 3 for 3, left-handed, urethane, 2 hands. Because that's like the trifecta, right?
Right.
That's 3. That's like 3 things that all righties hate. Most purists most purists don't like 2-handers. Kyle, do you like 2-handers? No.
I don't dislike them as people.
Now, as we talk about here, Dick Allen said daggum lefties last week. So, there is a stigma to lefties. The left side could be easier or whatever. As he cries into the TV camera.
I think he realized what he did. Maybe there's it's also talk that there was some problems, or I shouldn't say problems at home. That's speculating. He was having, I don't know.
He also did tell the kid it wasn't about you.
Right. That's another thing.
Which, hold on, we got to get there.
We'll get
we got
there
to
in a second.
start.
All right. Go ahead.
So
I'll
3
let
for
you go.
3. Lefty, urethane, 2-hander. Right, Austin? Would that's the 3 things that righties don't, I guess, they don't like lefties. It's kind of like that stigma.
Petty righties, yeah.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I'm just trying to talk, people. 2-handers. A lot of the purists don't like 2-handers. I didn't like 2-handers. Now I think I like to bowl 2-handed. And then, of course, we're talking about the urethane because the great debate of urethane, banning urethane. Everybody is so interested in urethane. So there's the 3 for 3 trifecta. Now, also, there's another way to look at it because at this point, 3 for 3 would have been 3 Brunswick players on the TV show. Now, I got to thinking, and I just think to myself, at these events, I know at regionals, I don't know if they use the lane machines. I know at regionals, they don't use the Brunswick lane machines unless they're in the center, right? They use the center's lane machine. So I'm thinking, did they possibly use a Brunswick lane machine for qualifying? And if they didn't, they're using a Brunswick machine for the finals. And if they used the Kegel machine during qualifying, he could have meant integrity one day, as in, well, hey, what the heck? Brunswick's got all these balls. Brunswick's got the lane machine. What the heck?
Right.
Now you're gonna oil with the Brunswick lane machine. Now lanes will play different with the lights on and the lane machine and the oil. Let's not get there because the blue oil, that's a whole nother thing.
Right.
So, thinking about all that, what do you think it could have been? Or you just think, is he complaining about what is 3 for 3?
Yeah, my initial reaction to that was that's what he was complaining about. Our first thought there, your first thought was
lefty
urethane 2-hander. Apparently, again, we're a couple of losers here, right? And when it comes to bowling, we have no insider information whatsoever. So we're relying.
That's why I'm saying. That's why before we give our opinions, we should speculate on what 3 for 3 could be to give the people who are listening an actual idea of what's going on.
But what I'm saying
we see as just
I think Randy said on the show or in the post show that it was that Sean is pretty open about his disdain for urethane, and 2-handed and lefties.
Now, I don't like to bring up the other podcast, the Beef and Barnsley, because we didn't want to fill our heads with their stuff, but we did want to see what they said.
Right.
And
they're
somebody did write in the comments.
They're
with him, right?
You know
so they
mean?
know
So,
they know they got the insider
the
scoop without
details.
even the inside scoop. They
Right.
just know. Somebody did comment that they know Sean, and he has verbally said multiple times that he's no good at throwing urethane. So typically, when you stink at throwing urethane, like myself, until I learned how to throw it, I hated urethane.
Right.
I hated people who used urethane because I was jealous.
Can't beat them, join them.
And basically, that's what I did. And it happened. That's exactly what I do. I'm left-handed, so you know, I was a little
You're
offended.
2 for 2.
I was a little offended
2
when
for 3, I should say.
yeah, 2 for 3. I was a little offended watching the show. And then he said it wasn't about you. Obviously, it was about the kid.
Yeah. That was messed up.
Yeah, don't say it wasn't, because that's exactly what you meant. Now,
you're basically saying excuse me while I remove my foot from my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whatever. Sure. I mean, I just think that what the heck. For one, we talked about it with Dick last week. I would love to see trash talking, but because the players are mic'd up. So it'd be fun to be like, because I know when I bowl, I'm like, man, this guy sucks. And he's beating me. But I'm not mic'd up for the whole world to hear, right? So I love the trash talk. I love kind of like the enthusiasm of like, man, this guy stinks. I could beat this guy any day of the week, and you kind of talk trash to him. But there's also a time for it. You know what I mean? And, Russo needs to make the shot one.
Well, so it's one thing to say you want trash talk. That's fine. Yeah. But he's just shouting out into the world.
Right.
I'm mad about urethane and I'm mad about lefties. It's like,
well, I don't see it being lefties because he didn't really say it. But obviously now, like the announcers knew this was going to happen in like 6th frame. Yeah. They said to mute him if you watched.
Right.
They were like, oh, Sean's getting upset because he couldn't get the 10 out.
Well, yeah.
He couldn't get the 10 out. And that's the other thing. It's part of the game, people. Like, get over it. You're on TV. Dude, like, listen. You make a living at it. Don't get mad at a 10 pin. Try to figure out how to knock the 10 pin over.
Not nobody. Obviously, people could carry on that show, on those shows, and on that shot. But whatever, strike, whatever you want me to say. Anyway,
the right ball motion. Maybe try a different ball.
But that's what I'm getting at. Is that
or maybe
a lot of guys couldn't carry or get the 10 out or whatever.
Scores were pretty good, but yeah, some
of them were high and some of them were low, especially at the beginning of that first match on the East
Kyle Troop against
170 170.
Yeah.
No, that was Bill O'Neill and
no, Kyle Troop versus the Dombrowski.
Sure,
Dombrowski, right? They both had
O'Neill
170 the first game. Yeah. Anyway, it was a shot, or the two lanes, obviously different patterns. You could struggle on it, and you could not have, or could possibly not have good pin carry, etc. Where were we going with that? Oh, so Sean couldn't get the 10 out, and he's getting mad about it. Change balls, do something. My whole thing is urethane is part of the freaking game.
Yeah.
And carry down has been part of the game since, let me figure that out, forever. So why is it now all of a sudden you're mad about urethane because of carry down, or you can't figure it out, or you can't throw it?
I mean, I was talking about trash talking and
sorry, I got off track again.
Yeah, the trash talking at the end, the outburst. I think it would have been better because we did watch Beef and Barnesy a little bit. So, Stu kind of said it right. If he didn't have anything to say, and I was going to say the same thing about integrity of the game,
right?
I don't think it would be that much of a big deal. But the fact that he's challenging the integrity of the PBA and or bowling
because of a 40-year-old technology,
then that's kind of where people kind of got off. So, I mean, I get it that you're going to be mad. But then it was interesting to hear Stu Williams say that he gloats when he beats the urethane guys. And then when he gets beat by him, he
not just gloats, he says,
keep throwing it.
Yeah, keep throwing it because I can beat you every time.
That's what we heard them say on their podcast. So that's not from our mouth.
Right.
So yeah, Joe, there is no such thing as carry down.
There is now.
I don't really think that. I mean, come on, get it. There's no carry down. The kid was on the left side.
Well, okay. Well, yes. The argument of carry down aside. Yeah, you're right. The kid was on the left lane. Russo's on the left side. About. So yeah, there's no carry down when it comes.
I just don't.
But if you're bowling against urethane on your side, there absolutely is carry down with urethane. Like that is a real thing.
Oh, of course it carries it down, but you just have to. It creates more hole in the middle, and you got to play it better.
Yeah.
It's. Yeah, everybody's talking about the
I forgot to post the show the picture.
So back to what we were talking about. Yes, we can get to that. But what we're talking about is I just don't see.
Yeah.
I don't see a time where you have to have that hissy fit.
Right. Yeah. So like you're saying,
you lost. He didn't even lose yet. It was mathematically possible for him to win.
Right.
And he still threw a hissy fit. Now, if he lost after the kid said it, after the kid threw the shot, that kid was like, Matt Russo never said a word the whole time. So quiet. He wasn't going to say a word. He could have got his 2 cents in after the kid threw 9. Now, the kid still needs to throw his 9. I still think it's a bunch of garbage that he had his hissy fit. before the kid went. And
But again,
if anybody had any integrity, you know, if PBA doesn't have integrity, then neither does Sean Rash. Because what the heck, like, grow up.
But like
so-
we're saying, hissy fit is one thing, or trash talk is one thing. Hissy fit is
completely
stupid.
different.
You're just yelling out into the world.
Completely different.
I'm
Before
totally
you
fine.
mathematically lost.
Right. I'm totally fine with, you know, you throw a strike, you come back and let me see if you can throw one like that, buddy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
let's have some
That's
fun
how-
out there.
that's
I
how-
think that's great.
Yeah, that would be good. I don't mind the, man, this kid stinks. He doesn't throw any good or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, then some people
Or sitting
perceive it
off in the
differently.
back seat.
You're off, but
he throws one on the off. Oh, come on, another one?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. But I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me the way he kind of handled it at the end. And then the integrity thing, because the Purple Hammer is still legal ball. Now, I did hear that people pulled it out at the Open or whatever, and they did check them, the purples. This was, I think, before the acquisition. So this was probably Ebonite. And they had some illegal balls, the urethane ones. And I think
like
that's
Series 6 or Series 7 or
right.
something.
There was a few that were illegal, and that's kind of where everything got off. So I just don't get it. I get you're mad about urethane, but let me tell you something too. You've got access to every single bowling ball that Storm makes. If you're telling me you can't throw a UC3, I mean,
UC3 is a little different. Listen, I've thrown
it's
the
still
UC3.
urethane, though.
I understand. I've thrown the UC3, and it is exactly like a resin ball.
it's still urethane though. It controls the back ends. It's still. I talked to
It's a great ball. Don't get me wrong.
I talked to one of the haters gonna hate.
Gonna hate. I love it. That was a great hammer post.
But see, then I hear that people don't think it's about urethane. I hear a bunch of people talk about that. But we're gonna talk about it because that's kind of what we think it is, and that's what he says. Like, he's open about it.
Well, he's protesting urethane on the tour.
Yeah, I guess he's a player's rep, and they're gonna. How do you a player's rep and you do that? That's crazy. But he wants to protest it. He's trying to get a petition together to protest it.
Yeah,
or somebody asked.
Sorry, petition. He's
somebody
petitioning
asked, are they trying to
urethane.
petition it? And guys have. I think Beef and Barnes didn't say no. They weren't trying to petition it. So it's kind of like speculation. But I mean, if you can't get over the fact that somebody used urethane, figure out how to throw it for yourself.
So
Go ahead. I do want to jump in here.
Yeah, jump in.
About Rash's, just the outburst. It's not like he continued. It was 2 sentences. He sat down, and he just sat there.
Happy birthday, Dad.
So yeah, but everyone says something after they win.
I know.
You know,
He had to.
regardless of
What
how
else
they
was he
win.
going to say? He felt like a
he
dummy.
felt like an idiot. You could tell.
But there's been similar outbursts
By me?
without
Yep.
swear words, and there
Yeah,
was no
I mean,
punishment.
Yeah, the punishment
So-
too is another thing that we didn't talk about.
It's kind
we didn't
of
get there yet.
it's kind of like, are you going after this player, or is this the new way that we're going to take care of outbursts?
I think I would have to say maybe calling out the integrity as well as the swearing. That's probably the reason why Tom Clark did what he did.
yeah.
as
Well, I
far
can
as-
understand the swearing.
Yeah.
But you should be able to call out integrity of something you're involved in. That's your right.
I don't know their
being a
exact.
player.
I don't know their exact
Uh,
rules though. Do they have no defamatory speaking of the PBA or something like that? You know what I mean? Maybe because I know if you go to a USBC tournament, they have rules in their well, the rules of the tournament will state that you cannot defame the USBC or speak negatively on social media. By the way, we're out of all USBC tournaments.
We don't talk badly. We just,
No, we just
criticize.
we just have our opinion.
Wasn't
But-
there a situation with Simonson saying something about the PBA?
Yes, last
And
season he had
Did
an
he get
outburst
fined
too.
for it?
I don't remember that. That's a good question. But I don't think he was swearing or anything. He just went off and was whining and crying about
the rack.
Oh, that's right. The pins. Yeah, he couldn't strike, so he blamed the pins. That
Blame the
sounds
rack.
familiar. But the thing that we're talking about, urethane too, with Rash. So I'm not going to analyze this game. I'm no hand release expert or anything, but he's like Chris Barnes.
He should
comes
totally be able to throw
straight
urethane.
up, but he has a lot of reps, but he comes kind of straight up, right? Straight up the
but
back, right?
Still.
So
He's a
I
pro.
can kind of see. I get it. I can kind of see how he maybe is not successful with urethane because he doesn't get the side rotation that all the other guys get.
I don't really think he
Um,
wants. I mean, for me, when I rotate it sideways, it hooks too early and never hooks down lane.
Right, that's true.
So to be honest with you, urethane's
I'm pretty straight too.
urethane's not meant to bend the lane.
Right.
Urethane's meant to play straight.
Maybe he doesn't like being on the gutter.
Have you ever seen him on the gutter?
I don't know.
He's done it a lot recently.
On the gutter?
On the gutter?
Like well, when I mean on the
Not
gutter, I
on
mean
the
like
gutter,
on the
but-
gutter.
But his games
His game,
generally in the past couple of years, he's been farther right of everyone,
well, he does throw it a lot harder too.
or plays
Well, that's the
straight
other
down
thing.
the middle.
I mean, I just don't get if you can't beat him, join him. That's what I did.
Seriously, I did too. I mean, I
mean,
wasn't complaining about Urethane, but
Controls the lane. I mean,
yeah, it
it's-
definitely smooths out the lane. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
and going to my opinion now. I mean,
Oh,
you're gonna-
did you not speak your opinion yet?
no, we're not even on the opinion yet. Well, I mean, it's been out there. First of all, if he's gonna complain about, I'm gonna assume it's about lefty two-hander urethane as well.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're complaining about a lefty, get over it. It's been like the lefty-righty battle of all time.
Yeah.
When the left doesn't have a good look, like, okay, and
They
then when the
blame
left
the-
has a
yeah.
good look, oh, the left's walled. Dude, give me a break. You got two different patterns, 45 feet, and the other one I don't remember. I think it was Cheetah. No, Chameleon,
No,
39
yeah,
feet.
39 and 45.
Yeah, give me a break. Like, you should dominate on 45. The lefty shouldn't bowl that great on 45. Obviously, they're pros, so they can get ways around it.
Mhm.
And 39 feet, the lefty's probably going to be better than you on. So it kind of evens out the competition, especially in this case.
Right.
So get over the lefty thing. And also, I'm left-handed, so I took personal offense to that, especially when it said it's not about you when it clearly was.
Where's your sign?
Lefty love. I don't know. I found it in the trash somewhere. Somebody tried to throw it out.
Ooh.
I was pretty ticked. Second of all, two-handers, dude, it's not going away.
Not anymore. No, it's here to
Get
stay.
over yourself. And urethane, I mean, dude, you got to be able. If you're a pro, you got to be able to get it. Like Dave Walker, I talked to him about urethane, and he's like, I love when people throw urethane. Everybody hates it, but he goes, I just have a huge hold spot in the middle because
Right.
I know how to play it. So if you don't know how to play it by now, just go find another job.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of people looking for something. If you want to just whine about it. I mean, I'm not on the tour, but still, like, just
What?
get over it. It's so annoying at
It's
this
old.
point.
It's old. It's old. It's old.
Old
it's old,
news.
it's old.
Old news.
Let's talk about his punishment.
I really want to know what it's really about, though, because that's all speculation.
I'm sure you'll never know.
I'm gonna follow him one day. I'm gonna tweet him next. With
Let's
my
talk
6
about
followers.
the punishment, though. We've touched on
Yeah,
it a little bit.
Come on, hit the punishment.
He was issued a fine of an undisclosed amount, which I find weird. I mean,
Because they didn't find him.
You never know.
I bet you they didn't find him.
Well, at the very least, I assume they got to get the FCC fine. Or no, that's on cable, so I don't know if there is an FCC fine.
I don't think
there
they
is.
find. I
So-
personally do not think they find him.
That's definitely speculative.
Yeah, it is. I'm not going
Um,
to disagree. I'm just saying
But so
because Tom Clark and him, I guess, are buddies, from what I heard.
I think they're
on the
all.
podcast.
I don't think anybody dislikes Tom Clark on the tour. Maybe
I don't even
maybe
know.
there's somebody out there, but I think they all have a respect for him. But it's undisclosed. Name a professional sport where somebody gets fined that you don't know the price.
Yeah, that's true. When you hear NFL guys, you always know they get fined like $500K or
Yeah, you know the fine.
Whatever,
Why
yeah.
are we not disclosing the fine?
because they didn't find him.
Or it was very little.
$5.
Whatever. You know, we don't know what the fine was. Period. So
I mean, do you think he should have been fined? You think he should have been
Well,
fined?
yeah, absolutely. He knew he was getting fined because I don't think they're allowed to swear on TV.
I don't think you're allowed to swear in general. Like even when you're in a regional,
True.
because I'm pretty sure
True.
like when Kevin Williams left his Stone 8 to miss the show, he did this whole like whoa kind of thing.
What does
Like
that mean?
like he was like, oh my God, it always happens, and walked out like 8 lanes. And I'm pretty sure he was gonna get fined for that. So the guys know when they're gonna get fined. Like he obviously like this was like premeditated. Like he knew this was gonna happen, and like must have been the 6th frame because that was what the 9th frame. No, that was 10th, maybe the 8th frame. He was like, I'm just gonna let him have it.
Yeah.
Like he knew he was gonna say something at that point.
Right.
If he didn't strike.
So I'm miffed about the I'm miffed about the fine, not knowing what it is. We should know what the fine is. But then you have the probation, 1-year probation.
Boo.
That's fine, whatever. You know, if
Boring.
he acts out again, there's going to be another.
Clearly he's done this
something or other.
before if he's gotten on probation.
Yep.
So
then-
skip probation.
But it's a year of probation. That's a long time to have to remember to keep yourself in check.
How hard
I
can
will
that
tell
be?
you. Oh my God! You tell me how easy it is for you to keep your
If
behavior.
I
in
know
check.
I'm probation, I know I'm not gonna, especially if it's my livelihood. You're not gonna say anything. Like that's
Right.
easy peasy lemon squeezy, dude.
And then here's the best one. I don't even know if it's the best one, but it's a good one. He's suspended, quote unquote, from one tournament in February. and it's not even
like a big event.
Yeah, it's not even it's a quote unquote tier 2 event, whatever.
So that means it's not for like it's not like a big one.
Right. Well, I don't think it's a regular tour stop.
I mean, hey, if you want to start whining about it on a major, suspend him for a major. I personally think that it wasn't enough. Because I just feel like
for what reason though? Like why would it not be enough?
I mean, first of all, I don't like how
let's just say he got fined. This can't be right, but let's just say he got fined 1,000 or
he didn't get fined
1,000 or 5,000. That's
there's no way he got fined
because they don't make a lot of money. Well, at least from their tour money.
Sure.
But let's say it was $1,000 and then the rest all the same.
Okay.
Is that not enough? What if it was 10,000?
I mean, I don't really care about the fine.
That's pretty substantial when you're flying back and forth
from
Alaska.
He's not from Alaska. He's from Alaska, but he doesn't live in Alaska.
Oh, he doesn't live there anymore?
No.
I thought he still lived there. I'm sorry.
I thought he's from like Wichita, or he's from the Mid-East. He went to Wichita State, so I'm sure he's in Illinois, I think it is. Austin's checking that out. I see him. He's on the keyboard. It is rare for the people talking about how many times have lefties been on the show. All lefties.
Step ladder, yeah.
Very
step
rare.
ladder.
He was born in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, but he lived in Alaska.
He was definitely from Alaska. Well, lived in Alaska, yeah.
At least. Shows how much research we did about it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like the fine I could care less about. Go ahead, Austin.
Montgomery, Illinois.
Told you, Illinois. So he's not that far away. First of all, I don't care about the fine. The swearing, the cussing, I don't really care about. Is what it is. I mean, it makes bowling look worse. I just feel like, listen, if you want to start talking, you better walk the walk with it. And if you want to start talking, you might as well just be suspended without pay. What I mean by that is enter a tournament, full price, don't get the bowl.
So you got to pay the fee. Pay up.
That's your fine.
Pay up and sit down.
Pay up and stay at home. if apparently that was such an issue, you should just stay home.
Yeah.
Because I just think granted, the kid needs to make the shot there because that's his profession. I get it. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with people. But if you want to talk about it and talk about the integrity, I mean, yeah. You want to do it for a living? Yeah. Put up and then sit down. Go be a ball rep for a week. That should be your fine. I don't care about the swearing, the cussing. What if they fined him $1,000? For me, that's not enough because congratulations, it's just money. Yeah. Here you go. Guess what? If I win this tournament, I win $100,000. That's nothing. So make him pay for an event that's $100,000 to win and say, sorry, you can't compete after your outburst on TV. And then that'll probably cure everything.
Yeah, but the tournament, who knows? I don't even know what tournament it is.
Yeah, well, whatever.
So if
it's not a major stop, then it's like a
slap in the wrist. For
wow,
sure.
Darn! You should be a better boy.
All right, have we put the final nail in the coffin on that one? No, you're just gonna keep rambling on about it. If
you're so mad about it, wah.
Learn how to toss the thing.
Go grab your baby bottle and sit at home, son. And you know what? I invite him on the show. Listen, if he just wants to clear it up, cool.
Clear the air, man.
Bygones be bygones. You're gonna
put us in our place. That's what I say. Put us in our place.
Like, we're just talking because we don't know. You want to come on and straighten out the record, and I'll give you all the respect back. But listen.
I won't treat you like garbage on the show.
No, absolutely not. Listen, I want to hear what you got to say because we obviously don't know the inside scoop. So why not air it out? Why not let people know what the real truth was? If you don't want to do it, or listen, if you want to back up your words, man, let me tell you something. More power to you, because then that gains respect too. Because listen, if you want to talk it and you
better walk it.
Well, exactly what I said, but
it is a $20,000 tournament.
Yeah. So basic
top prize tournament. He's fine.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, come talk it. Tell us, back up your points. Then you want to talk about it? Sure. I don't care. Just clear the air. Let's know what it's about.
This is your second invitation, Sean, to come on our show.
You're so tough. And that was a nice one.
I'm just saying. Come on, man. We want you on the show. Our people want you on the show. They want to see you, and they want you to clear your name. I guess that's the wrong way to put it. But
I don't think it's clearing his name. I think it's just let us know what the real deal is, because people want to know. And the thing with bowling is it's so secretive because it's such a small. It's not covered well in the media.
Right.
Such a small circle. Like look at Beef and Barnes. You have all the inside scoop. Why not air it out here?
That's right.
For the average Joes.
So
I do like his game though, by the way.
He's always had a good game.
Yeah, it's got a good game.
He's always been very, very good. All right, let's talk a little bit more. I mean, we definitely nailed that one down.
Nailed it.
How about Norm freaking Duke, man?
Guy's a train.
57 years old. We talked about this with THB last week. And he's just, I mean, he obviously isn't quote unquote unstoppable because he lost against Tommy Jones. But
yeah, but Tommy Jones was virtually unstoppable.
dude, it was crazy.
You
But
don't need him.
I like him here.
But
Help
he
me
is
think.
so good. He can figure out, and he was playing the long lane straight and the
short
hook
lane-
in the short lane.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense to me, but he's a freaking
Well,
genius. He's amazing.
it did. I mean, you got to remember I think he still throws 16, and he's
Yes,
a
he
little,
does.
He's a little slower. So you got to remember I think he used. I don't even remember because I was so wrapped up in the show and I was so mesmerized by Tommy Jones. Dude is probably one of my favorite bowlers now because I just the way he carries himself on the lanes, man. Dude is just he's a baller. Guy can definitely chuck it. No wonder why he's a Hall of Famer. But he laid the sticks to Duke. I mean, Duke shot like 250.
Yeah. I
And
think it was 260, 250.
to be honest with you, in like the third frame, I was like, man, this match is over. It does not matter what Norm Duke shoots. I mean, this Tommy Jones is lights out right now. White Widow on both lanes. And
That was sick.
he just was like, yeah. And then I saw his quote. He's like, yeah, every time you face a Hall of Famer, you got to bring him. I'm like, dude, you're a Hall of Famer too. Like that.
I
should
don't
just be
know.
like
I don't
a-
think he is yet.
No, he got.
Is he officially a Hall of Famer? I don't know.
I thought he was. He got inducted on his 300 game though. That was like his event. I thought maybe I misinterpreted.
I'll have to double check, but I think I know he's going to be, obviously, but I don't know that he has officially been inducted yet. But
Yeah.
it could be. I could be way off.
I will say that Duke was good though. I mean, he ran through everybody.
I was rooting for him because why don't you root for Duke? But
yeah.
it was incredible to watch. When in the fourth game when he started with that giant open, I thought he was toast. I thought he was done, and then he still
fought back.
shot 250.
Yeah, I know. I saw it.
I thought maybe Tommy Jones would slip up just a little bit just to make the match interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong, the match was great.
They do say that, when we had Bill O'Neill on the show, he did say if he had to have one anchor bowler, it would be Tommy Jones. That was his anchor
That
bowler.
was his anchor. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I do.
I know.
And then I watched it on TV happen live. I was like, yeah, me too. I'm not going to pick you anymore, Bill.
Tommy Jones was inducted already.
Okay, cool.
He was.
When
It was
that? What year?
against Darren
The
Tang.
day before he had his 300.
Against Darren Tang on TV.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's another thing. I mean, you watch him bowl, like it never even. I mean, he's probably been there so many times. It's like clockwork for him.
I
But
know. But when you watch him bowl, this is the other great thing. This is why I like watching Duke. All right, we'll look at all the other guys,
Fell
including
asleep.
Tommy Jones. You did?
no, Norm Duke
Oh.
fell asleep in the chair.
No. When he had his eyes closed, but when you watch him, the other guys are just like do. He's like,
Yeah, he is very animated.
he's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm like,
he's-
his blood pressure must be like 120 because, or higher, whatever the numbers
Yeah.
are. I don't know, but he must be through the roof because.
120 is not
But yeah, he's a super animated guy.
Yeah.
But he just seems like he's a lot of fun to be around. Just kind of got, watching him live. I mean, he's got those emotions, but he doesn't have to. He doesn't say much. He's just, you can tell by his body, like he's ready to like go to a boxing match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he is
it was
ready.
cool. Yeah, I loved it.
He's
I
always
did
amped
like
up.
watch him. You're right. But then he like fell asleep in the chair.
Well, no, he was trying to calm himself.
No,
down,
I
for
know.
sure.
Like that's what he definitely was doing because he did it a few times. And I'm like, man, dude, he is so silent
But
right now.
when I
Is
saw
he dead?
that, when I saw that, I was actually like, oh man, this should be a meme of like, for some like,
When your competitors
yeah.
just can't touch you.
or something, or the old man fell asleep type
Yeah.
of thing.
Hey, Norm, you're up.
What?
What? Norm, we're on TV. Yeah, I know. Just want to see if I can catch you guys. Something like my dad would do.
Yeah. I mean, I actually think I've seen your dad fall asleep on planes.
He probably has.
Anyway, but his game is just so simplistic, not in a negative way, but just his.
He can repeat it so well because it
Yes.
is so simplistic.
But he can also throw it straight, dead straight, and he can also turn his handle all the way around the ball and hook the
He
lane.
raps it pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's what happens when you've been on tour your whole life.
I understand. Yeah.
He lives on the lanes. I don't, he probably has other stuff he does outside, but when you're there every day and you're just, that's what you do, you got to be able to.
I don't think
do some crazy
anybody.
stuff.
I don't care what somebody says to me. I don't think anybody has the versatility that he has. Nobody can throw it that straight and then on the other lane hook it 15 or 20 boards.
Belmo, you're welcome.
I don't think he can throw it like Norm Duke.
He doesn't have to. He throws it like Belmo. Like what?
Speaking of Belmo,
Yeah. What about him?
I guess he's back.
dude was phenomenal on TV.
Ridiculous.
Listen,
He missed the pocket once.
He has like some weird arrogance about him when he bowls.
Yeah, but that's a professional athlete.
Listen,
When you
need.
lead the majors titles,
Yeah,
I
listen,
think you can have that
Yeah.
area.
I get it. Like he's got like that swagger.
Mm.
Like no matter what, he's got that swagger. Like he
It's like,
stared
I know
down.
I'm gonna win.
He stared down like a
Lichtenstein.
10-pin or something.
Like Lichtenstein at the Nebas. I know I'm gonna win this match.
Lichtenstein, I don't know. Lichtenstein is like on and off the approach. It's a little different. I never know when he's gonna go. Great guy, but just
Yeah,
sometimes
no,
I'm like,
super.
all right, come on, Lich, go ahead, so I can go bowl. I bowled next to him. I took him you shoot for 300, and I had to like, it was a funny kind of rhythm. But going back to Belmo, I mean, Jesus, how do you not pick him to win? I mean, it's so hard because he throws it so well.
Yeah.
He makes me want to bowl two-handed because he just has so much power and so much versatility. But the thing that I think separates Belmo from the other two-handers is he's perfected the two-hander motion. I think the guys who try to copy him aren't even close because they try to rush it. I like the new style two-hander, Foy, Vi, the guys who kind of walk up, Troop, the guys who walk to the line.
Troop has got it mastered, dude.
I have to disagree with you. I don't think anybody.
I'm talking about the
the walking.
Yeah.
Sure. But Belmo's skip step is so
Give him
good
the
and
power.
consistent. Like I try to teach some of the kids to do it here. Like Jack Papow, Jack is probably watching. We took it out of his game because it just made him too erratic. His head moves too much. He never lands in the same spot twice. I watched Simo do it. To be honest with you, Simo's game it's not nearly as smooth as Belmo's.
No.
It's great bowler. We're not taking anything away from, but his fundamentals, it's harder to watch Simo. Belmo is just
Same thing every
so
time.
good. And watching him bowl this week was mesmerizing because he's so much better physically because he's two-handed. I think he clears it better, but also his bowling ball knowledge is through the roof. Like last year when he didn't make the cuts and he was on TV,
Yeah,
he could. This is what Randy Peterson needs to learn how to do. Randy, if you're listening, watch Belmo commentate and watch how he talks about bowling. He can explain it to people in a lower level, so that way everybody can catch on to it.
Well,
And that's one thing I think we have.
I thought last year maybe Belmo
he
was
unreal.
done. Well, no, I
Oh,
thought
you
last
thought
year
he was
maybe he
finished.
was done because they were testing the waters with him to take over for Peterson because as much as I disliked Belmo to start, he's very personable.
Yeah.
And he's very good on the microphone.
Yeah, he's excellent. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. You listen to
And
him talk.
he would be a perfect replacement for Peterson, which I think all of the bowling world is looking for. No offense to Randy Peterson, but
I gotta say, I just love hearing what he says.
Belmo?
No,
Peterson?
Oh my god,
He's
laughed
lost
that
a
hard
step, though.
watching
I'm sorry, but
PBA
he's
events.
lost a step.
I just think that Belmo has the knowledge and he's able
Yeah.
to send it to the masses at a lower level.
And people enjoy watching.
Right. They like Belmo. They like to hear what he has to say. And he's super smart about ball motion. His bowling balls haven't been my favorite.
I never like a named bowling ball. Anybody that has a bowling ball named
I
after
will
them,
say his trend
no
2
thanks.
and his trend were pretty good. The drive and the timeless weren't my favorites. But talking about him talking about bowling balls on TV, he's good. He explains it. He understands what mechanics need to happen. He understands the lanes. I think the lanes are different, way different than they used to be. So I think that's kind of why sometimes we're out of touch a little bit with explaining, because the lanes are so much different than they were 20 years ago, 10 years ago. And Belmo is in touch with it. He's still out there competing. So he's still up with the times. And I think that's kind of where we lose a little bit of knowledge there, or maybe the way to talk to people about
Yeah.
it. Like when you're in the pro shop, you have to almost, I don't want to
You
say
mean like
dumb it down. but-
LOL? That kind of talking?
No, but I mean, like, when somebody comes in the shop, I have to explain things to them
Yeah, of
in a way
course.
that they can
Yeah.
understand. And I
Yeah.
think we have trouble doing that. And I
On
think
television.
Belmo,
and
yeah,
also a way
Belmo
you
can
can
do that.
understand.
right. Well, I'm pretty good at
Well, if Anthony can explain it,
exactly.
darn certain the person
Right.
listening can understand it.
Exactly. But I think Belmo is just, aside from him talking about bowling balls and knowledge, he's really good at that. But his game is just superb at this point. He looks really good.
Yeah.
if
He's back for sure.
I'm rooting.
We're not going to see him on the announcing desk for at least a decade,
Yeah, we're not going to get that lucky.
unless he gets himself hurt.
We're not going to get that lucky. But this weekend, I am going to have to say that it's probably, depending on how the cards fall, it's going to probably be if the two players who I think are going to meet there is going to be Tommy Jones and Belmo. I think that's going to be electrifying.
That'll be awesome.
That's an electrifying final match.
Because Tommy Jones can get pretty amped up.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah, and Belmo, he'll show it.
Oh yeah,
He'll show
oh,
it.
Yeah,
He'll give it to you. Yeah, which is awesome. And especially with the mic'd up portion, I know I kind of don't like it, but I kind of like it.
Oh,
I
no,
think
it's-
that
you
those
gotta
two,
have it.
I
You
think
gotta have
those two together will create such an
Be killer.
electrifying
Yeah.
performance, entertainment value. You know,
one-hander versus two-hander.
right? And I mean,
Yeah.
you know, it would be awesome. And the one thing I will say, the good thing about Rash having his outburst is that it does get people to talk, and people want to see him get
Yep.
his tail beat this weekend.
Absolutely.
Now,
Well, speaking of that, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the PBA Players Championship seating is on Facebook.
face base,
So, a couple things.
is it free?
It's on Facebook. It's for free.
Whoa, Kyle's
I'm getting very excited. I said this to the PBA on the Twitter machine, I think it was, that they seem to be either experimenting a lot or at least trying to
different avenues.
test the waters of different avenues.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
have a post show on YouTube, which is pretty sweet. It's not amazing, but they do go over a little bit about what the guys did. I'd like to see a pre-show, like a
that's
full-on
one thing I was gonna
pre-show.
say, because I watched it this weekend and I never pay attention. I'm like, man, how the heck did these guys get here? Like, what the heck did they average? Like,
Right.
what the heck was it? And like, they're talking with Brad and Kyle, which was good because they were also the YouTube guys.
Yep.
But it's like, hey man,
But you got
How did
even
Norm
the
do-
guys that weren't on the show. Forget about the guys on the show. Even the guys that aren't on the show. Who's in sixth, seventh, eighth? You know what I mean?
who's Corey Schnickel?
Get their names out there.
Who's Corey
I don't
Schnickel?
know, but get their names out there. Get
He
their
bowled
faces
against
out
Belmo
there.
and bowled really good. But how do we?
Yeah,
He's a
nobody
regional
knows.
guy. Why aren't we?
Belschnickel?
Why are we not hearing about how he got there? You know, he won this in match play. You know, I guess it's hard to kind of put it together, but you could at least put a semi pregame show to when the guys are warming up, and maybe just have, as they're like in the NFL when they got the guys running around, jogging around, doing, you know, catching balls or whatever, or throwing.
Yep.
You can have their
Yep.
name, like, and they have their name underneath it. It's like, oh, 500 yards in the past 2 games or
Yep.
whatever. They can say,
Absolutely.
you know, here's Corey Schnickel, you know,
Belschnickel.
sponsored by Rotogrip, throws a lot of Storm Rotogrip equipment. You know, he won X amount of games. He lost X amount of games in match play. He ended up averaging X amount on all 28 games, you know, stuff like that. And so we can kind of get like a background of you know, what's going on. And the first seed is, who's the first seed? Crap.
No, there's no first seed yet.
Jacob Butter.
Oh.
Talking about the one final. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
And they could say, well, he was 1-1 against Jake Butter from match play. I don't know if that's how it went or if they just qualified here. I don't really remember. I'm not paying attention, but you know, at least they could give me like a, hey, he beat him in this, he beat him in this. Then when we went to position round, these two faced off against X, Y, and Z, the 2 stepladder guys, and they ended up shooting this, which ended up pushing them over here.
Even if it's
you know, just something to give me something.
Even if it's on YouTube to start. What my whole point about this, even bringing this up, not just to announce that it's out there or that it's happening tomorrow on Facebook, but the fact that in the interview, I think it was an 11th frame interview, Tom Clark mentioned that as for 2022, Flow Bowling is still providing the coverage, but didn't mention anything else other than that. So I'm seriously curious if they're testing the waters here, if they're going to use maybe the Fox cameras and whatever to produce these YouTube shows, or maybe even get the streaming to the people.
YouTube TV.
Right. It probably won't be free, but they're testing something a little different. I feel like that's what's happening, but I would also like to see the pre-show, post-show, even if it's on YouTube, whatever. All right. Last thing we're going to talk about, because it pertains to a little bit about urethane, rule changes on the PBA.
What's the rule change with the urethane?
If you are using a urethane on the show only, this is why this is stupid. They are testing the hardness just for the finals. So,
use it all week until the TV show.
Right. It's okay that you made the finals. We're just going to.
So you just beat 90% of the field with your illegal urethane ball, but you just can't beat the last 5 guys.
Right. It's obviously they're clearly not wanting to.
I just don't like. I don't like. They used to test them.
Right.
Like my dad,
They
when he went to
always used to
regionals,
test them.
they always every ball was tested.
Yes.
Why can't we do that? I know guys drill a plethora of
That's-
like Dick Allen said, he's a drill person.
Yeah. In so many words.
Yes. So why can't we just have it? How hard can it be to have it?
Well, that's
how many balls do you want to
that's
drill?
what I'm saying.
Drill
It sounds
Boom,
like
pop
they
it in.
don't want to commit to that kind of not rigorous testing, but
How's that
the
rigorous?
amount. I'm not saying it's not rigorous. It's the wrong word, but the amount of work that they're going to have to do, because they show up with 25 bowling balls at least, and they can drill 25 more while they're there if they
That's
want
fine.
to.
So then limit it. All right, you get to bring in 6 to
I'm
practice.
fine with that.
Bring
I'm
in
fine
6
with
to
limiting
practice.
balls.
If you want to drill it, it must be put in and
Approved.
ordered by X time. And once this tournament starts, those are the X amount you use. You use 6. Well, the thing is, you can.
Well, the Masters does that, right? They
That's what I'm saying.
or the Open, one
Limit
or the
them
other.
to
You
8
have
or
a
something.
limited amount of bowling
Yeah,
balls.
limit
I'm
them to
fine with
8.
that,
You can
dude.
drill balls day to day.
Well, currently, but we're saying
Limit it so that way
Limit
they can check the hardness of it. Check every
Yeah.
ball while you're at it. Don't just check one side of it. Check them all.
Yeah.
Why not? That
And-
way, when people see it's like, oh, that ball's legal, because then you can use it anywhere anyway. So who cares? But if you're just gonna check one type of ball,
one type of ball, just urethane, and only for the TV show.
Purple Hammer.
The second rule change on the
Austin
PBA.
wanted to jump in.
Oh, sorry, Austin, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump in right before bowl of the week.
All right, so the second rule change, wrist supports.
I
So,
agree.
I don't know why this wasn't done 30 years ago, but then that would knock out probably a couple of players that have some championships. So wrist supports with adjustable wrists, and I think they said metal and maybe even hard plastic in there are not allowed in PBA competition. This does not apply to the USBC. This does not apply to the PWBA or the PBA 50
or the PBA regionals.
or the regionals, right?
Pretty sure it's nothing but the
Right.
national tour, which is
Right.
pointless.
Right. Either
Um,
spread it across or
Yeah.
don't.
I just think they're doing it because, for years,
The weird thing is nobody uses it anymore, though. Why are they doing it now? Maybe that's why. Now that everybody's gone with the wrist guards, maybe now
Right.
they're like, okay, now it's time. We can't
Yeah.
kick anybody out.
yeah,
Yeah. So
Jimmy Joe used the freaking bionic arm.
right.
Now he can't bowl because they got this on there. I mean, I agree. I'm not a listen, if you're gonna bowl the tour, I get it. I mean, I hate to do this because I know people. My girlfriend uses a glove, but
I don't know if first qualifies, but again, PWBA.
it would because there's a metal piece in it. If she was on the
That's a
national tour,
flexible piece.
sure,
thing.
whatever. I don't think
Whatever.
so.
Go ahead.
But what I would say is I just don't like it because I was talking to my dad about it, and one guy used it one day, and I'm like, that's
Don't like the
cheating.
gloves.
Yeah, the metal
Right.
gloves, the adjustable ones.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's cheating.
It's literally hooking a wrist.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And then it stays
taking
there.
a variable out of
Right.
the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, that means his hand's always in this spot every time.
Yep.
How hard can it be when your hand can't move?
Right.
Well, all you got to focus on is release at that point.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Release.
worry
Just
about-
getting your thumb out.
If
Done.
you
Yeah,
think
that's
about
it.
releasing the ball, you ain't bowling, son. Unless you're bowling two-handed. I mean, the heck.
I don't know
I
what
do
that
know-
was.
I do know Daria Pajak.
Payok.
However you pronounce her last name. She posted about this on her Facebook, and there was a pretty good discussion in the comments about it.
Really?
Opposing both sides,
Yeah.
agreeing with both sides. But she ultimately agreed with it. She was like,
And
If
she
you're-
bowls,
Why do we need a
against
wrist guard?
players, pretty high profile players that use the adjustable.
but she's
Sorry,
one of the,
wrist-
I would
wrist
say, a power player for the females.
Oh, yeah.
For the males.
True.
So I'm not surprised that she's in favor of the ban.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not for the women, so it doesn't make a difference.
She's probably just mad about losing to Shannon O'Keefe all the time.
Kyle, you are terrible.
All right.
People are never going to want to come on this show again.
Before we get to bowl of the week here, we had a close friend of the show send me a picture.
Uh-oh.
Is it of me?
And no,
Dang it.
you guys obviously know about the custom license plates.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I wasn't sure if I could do this, but go ahead. Go ahead. So I got to know, Joe, did you choose that one? This is my brother-in-law, Joey, Anthony
he actually
Sapper.
pick that?
Joe.
He has not
Brother
chose
Joe?
it yet.
Joe,
Undecided.
you
Oh,
have
he's
to
still
pick
undecided,
that one.
Joey? Come on. Come on. That's the one right there.
That's it.
Nobody has to know what it means. Urethane, baby.
Urethane.
I love it.
I just wanted to
I
share.
would have preferred maybe like Thane Diggity or
Can't fit all that on the
Thane
plate.
Dog or
Well, you gotta take some letters out here and
No.
there, you know.
Joethane.
That's perfect.
Joethane.
That's perfect. Urethane.
Urethane.
Yes, I did see what Kevin Williams posted on his Facebook page, and he's 120% right as well.
What's that?
He posted that the reason bowling isn't what it is because everybody bashes everybody. If the lefty wins, the left is wall. If the righties win, the right's easy.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. Two-handers, no thumb, two thumb, three thumb. Throw it lefty, behind your back, forwards, backwards. Just basically about people who complain about everything. And they just complain and complain and complain, which is why the sport isn't what it should be, is because everybody has something to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think a lot of people posted their feelings towards what happened this weekend. And it seems like there's really big two sides, actually, because I saw Storm posted something today, and I'm pretty sure it's a dig at what Hammer's putting up, and
Really?
Hammer and
Oh, I missed
everybody's
that one.
digging. It was like I forget what it was. It was Alex Hoskins. Oh, Alex Hoskins posted something. Sorry, my feet
Anthony's
fell off
breaking
the
the
table.
chairs.
Alex Hoskins
Tables.
posted something, and I thought it was a straight up dig
Back at Hammer.
at what's going on. Yeah, it kind of. I think I know his username because it's Haas. And
So who's the bowler of the week this week?
All right. Thank you, Austin, for that nice little segue.
wait, what?
This week, let's get to Bowler of the Week. So remember, if you guys would like to be Bowler of the Week or nominate someone to be Bowler of the Week, go ahead and click the link in the show notes or in all of our social media pages and fill out the form that that link leads you to. So this week, Bowler of the Week from Norwich, Connecticut, Alley Cats Bowling Center, 19-year-old Justin Veale. He shot 268, 300, almost had the B2B 300, 299 for a total of 867 at 19 years of age from Norwich, Connecticut, Justin Veale.
Now, is he our first out-of-state bowler of the week?
That sure is, my friend.
Well,
Our
I
first
guess
one.
more entries.
So yeah, he I kind of looked him up a little bit on social media. He's got a lot of scores. He's a two-hander, I think. Yeah, he clearly on I don't know if it's amateur staff or whatever, but the CTD staff. Again, don't forget February 10th. We got Ron from CDT. CTD, I can't say it right. Sorry. Creating the difference. So just before we move on, again, Bowler of the Week, if you guys want to be Bowler of the Week or would like to nominate someone, go ahead and click the link in the show notes or on the social media pages and fill out that form. And we will hopefully choose you one day. What are you trying to show me here?
That's what he said.
Who's
Alex
this?
Hoskins from Storm.
Oh, he posted lack of knowledge or information?
No, he
or just
posted a
ignorance?
picture of ignorance in the definition
Oh,
of
this
under
is
Google.
the post. I'm sorry. I thought you actually looked up the
No,
word
that's
ignorance
the
on
actual
Google.
post.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's a jab at Hammer or is a jab at somebody else. I don't know. It's just fun to see.
Yeah, who's the ignorant one?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I think we know the answer to that.
yeah, but it's a Storm guy.
Yeah, but if a Storm guy is posting it in response
Yeah,
to
no, but
it,
what are they ignorant about?
This is fun.
What do they not know about?
This is fun. Speculation.
speculation brings viewers.
That's right, I guess, or makes them leave,
Or makes them. Depends what view they have.
That's right. All right, well, guys, it's time for us to go bowling. So please, please, please like, subscribe, share this show with your friends because it's a lot of fun for us to do, and we want to keep on doing it. And don't forget, you can always catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you can't watch the show live, you can always watch it again on YouTube or download and listen to it from any major podcast outlet. I want to say, Mitch, I'm sorry that you got a new job. Well, congratulations for the new job, but I'm sorry that we're not going to be seeing you here every Thursday night. But don't forget to download us and watch or listen. But again, thank you for your loyal viewership. Let's see here. And if you're listening, did I say give us a 5-star review? If I didn't, or if I did, do it. If you want to give us some love, head to the merch shop and pick up one of our shirts or hats on Etsy. The link is also in the show notes. Or if you'd like to sponsor the show, email us at downlanepod@gmail.com. Thank you, Austin, VanBuren, the producer. Well done tonight. Jack Scaccia, the proprietor of Town & Country Lanes, for letting us use the pro shop. Thank you, Anthony, for another great show.
Thanks to my girlfriend Janelle for letting me be here.
Anthony, you had some good opinions. Maybe we could figure out what one of them were. One of them was.
Was it bad? There's a lot.
Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan. Why did you add Janelle to my list of people?
I had that last week. I had that 2 weeks ago.
All right. Well, thanks, Janelle. And we'll see you guys next week. This is Down Lane Podcast.